the Yep Yeah Yes podcast with Marissa and Tamika.
Look, I'd rather be a gambler than a weedhead.
I walked in, sat down, had to leave, and violently vomited.
I'm not going down that hole. I'm not. Don't even try me. Not today, Satan. Not today. I value my friendship. You're the cream. And the coffee is life. You bring cream to my life.
Ooh, I'm not sure.
Once a week for an hour.
What's up, Marissa?
Hello.
How's it going? How you doing?
I'm good. How you doing?
See, I would follow that up with, but unfortunately, God bless the dead. You can't say how's your mama doing, your papa doing, your grandma doing.
Oh man,
How's your kids
that took
doing?
that took a quick nosedive.
Real quick.
It's cold day. It's the cold is in my bones, but I feel good. What about you?
It's good. We haven't had a show in a while. Took a little bit of a break.
Yep.
But we're back, and hopefully things be a good year and COVID will go somewhere else. I don't know where, but back there.
Back to exactly.
And it's Black History Month. There's a lot going on this month. It's like crazy. People are dying. Like all the legends are dying.
Oh, girl.
And then
Yeah.
Korea died the other day.
Who?
And, Chick Corea, the jazz musician.
Oh.
And then I saw a couple weeks ago. Who was it? Somebody died. Oh, Cloris Leachman died. It's just like a.
Oh yeah.
It's just crazy. I'm just like, oh, and Cicely Tyson. I'm just like, come on, Betty. Hold on.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm not ready for Betty.
And then the I don't know if you saw the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame nominations were announced. And it's like I was talking to my aunt about them because I'm like, one of the things that I noticed is that, my favorite artist, Mary J. Blige, was nominated. But the problem I guess I have with that is that how can you give Mary the induction without Shaka? You know what I mean? Like Shaka's been on they said she's been on the ballot since '87.
Why is she the Susan Lucci of this? What is happening?
She's not even the Susan. You know how many people have been on the ballot since? It's people like you and me that have to vote.
Shaka Khan.
Yeah.
But the thing is, it's not like they're running out of space.
Dionne Warwick's on the ballot. I'm like, how is she not? And so then I went to the rabbit hole of who's not in it.
Right.
Like Patti LaBelle ain't in there. So it's like, I know I'm sticking to Black female artists, but it is Black History Month. So, anyway.
I'm fine with that.
So my mind has been inundated with pop culture. And one of the big pop culture topics right now is the Britney Spears documentary, which we both watched, which is on Hulu, or you can
FX on Hulu.
Yeah, FX on Hulu, which I watched on the Hulu app. Well, I guess that's the only. I think you could watch it on TV. No, was it?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't know either. I watched it on the Hulu app.
Yeah.
So today's topic is free Britney or nah. So what did you think of the documentary?
Oh, so the documentary, I want to talk to you in two parts about the documentary. One is Britney Spears herself, but the second part is the state of the world at that time. And what I didn't realize that I now realize looking back was like the snapshot of the world of like that big like paparazzi sort of culture was very, very big back then, following you, harassing, all that stuff, that sort of like anti-privacy. But there's a gift and a curse with that. You need paparazzi because, at least it gives you, marketing and, at least you're being talked about. But then at the same time, you can't like harass me while I'm going to get gas. Like that's just too much. And the other thing that I never.
With that, while you bring that up, there was never any context with that. And so to see the background for that moment where she broke in the windows
Yeah.
and see what led up to that, it was like eye opening.
And
They
that's
didn't
and
show that.
they never talk about, you mean back then or during the documentary?
No, back then. In the
Yes, you
documentary,
never,
they had the paparazzi. They interviewed the paparazzi who had no remorse. I don't think. Usually,
none whatsoever.
but to
None
see the
whatsoever.
background that led up to that was like kind of unique.
And that's the whole thing. You kind of look at it differently because, when you look at the culture and the microscope that most people were under, because you have to think about like, like those pop rock sort of people, the celebrity type, that big, not too many people came out unscathed. And
Right.
I also think that she was also young. She also didn't have a network to help her navigate.
Right.
And every single person she relied on seemingly either didn't have the processes in place to actually help her, or they were part of the problem. So you look at her mother, where every time she went to court just trying to say like, I just want her to be happy, I want her to be healthy. You're not helping though.
Right.
Like I need more from you right now. Like I need more. And then her dad, who's supposed to be, like that's your parent, your protector. What are you doing with all, why do you need all this money? Why is she just like a money engine for you? And then you look at like her relationships at the time, her romantic relationships at the time. Really? Really? Really?
Really what?
So
Everybody don't know
I
what it really means.
so like if we look at Justin Timberlake, then you have the gall, the audacity, and the nerve to really go to promote yourself, and you're stepping on her neck about it.
Yeah.
Like you just like he's just clearly he hasn't been this stand-up gentleman that I would want my daughter to be dating.
Well,
Or
to give people context for that, I'm gonna play a clip that of
okay,
when he was on
was it
MTV.
Barbara Walters?
No. He was on MTV with I can't remember the guy's name, the VJ. But it's a short clip, so
Okay.
I'm gonna play that and gives you kind of a little bit of context, and then after it, he issued an apology 50 million years later today, and so you'll get into that. But I'm gonna play the clip first. Let's see. Can you see?
I can see it.
Okay.
Britney has always said, and I'm quoting, good morals mean waiting to have sex until after you've been married.
I would
Barbara
definitely
Walters.
agree with her on that.
Okay. Did you and she live up to this during your relationship?
Sure. Sure.
Okay, I asked it, you answered.
Sure. I said
Sure.
John. I said MTV, but that was Barbara Walters. So that was like the insinuation that she was lying. Whenever somebody says
Sure.
sure, it doesn't mean sure.
So I have a few problems with him, but he's not going to be the topic of this conversation.
Right.
But as far as the documentary goes, I just want to finish my train of thought of the mental capacity, the mental space that she was in at the moment.
Mhm.
Now, when you look at it all these years later, you wonder to yourself, one, has she had the help that she needs? Two, is she really okay? Right? Is she really okay?
Right.
So I'm done with that. My snapshot Polaroid of what I thought the documentary was. I thought it was very eye-opening. I thought it was interesting. I'm actually hoping for a part two or an extended or whatever. But now, as far as Justin Timberlake goes, and you and I have spoken on this before. I think he's trash. I think, although I will say I bought my head to a lot of his songs. So I'm separating the art and the
I mean,
artist.
I still bop my head to R if it comes on. That's like I'm not really gonna turn it off.
You remind me of my G.
It just like it goes down a little bit differently.
Very much.
But
Oh, very much.
anyway,
But
I
still some
digress.
bangers. But
Damn.
Justin Timberlake has never really
Keep talking. My hearing aid just died, but keep talking. I got to give you the battery.
So
Sorry.
now we're gonna start off with, in 3 parts as to why Justin Timberlake is trash. Part 1, his relationship with Britney Spears. Even though he was young at the time, you don't make mistakes like that. You don't kiss and tell. What somebody's putting out there to the public, that's what you go with. It's inconsiderate, it's rude, it's disrespectful. Part 2, why Justin Timberlake is trash. You have a Super Bowl with the Janet Jackson, the Janet Jackson,
The legend,
the
the living legend.
the legend, the icon, Janet Jackson. You knew what it was about. You knew what was happening, and you threw her under the bus. I didn't know. First of all, you did know, number 1. Number 2, it wasn't a wardrobe malfunction.
This is
It is what it is.
if people become for his neck the day it happened. How you?
But this is my 3-part argument as to why Justin Timberlake is trash. That's part 2. Part 3 is your girl is what was she, pregnant at the time? And you're
Jessica
his
Biel?
wife.
I mean,
Yes.
yeah.
And he's off canoodling and getting caught on canoodling and talking about, it was misconstrued and I didn't, whatever, my family comes first. Does it though? You piece of trash. So in conclusion, for my paper, I said my 3 parts as to why Justin Timberlake is trash. So
Okay.
I do not accept his apology.
What did he have to say? You didn't read his apology.
One moment, bringing it up. Now, you're going to have to forgive the, how do I say it? The stankonia that I have for it.
No, just read it like your name is Stacey Plaskett and you're at the impeachment ceremony and you're speaking in the prosecution's. You're a prosecutor with a blue superhero dress on. Shiro.
I've seen the messages, tags, comments, and concerns, and I want to respond. I am deeply sorry for the times in my life where my actions contributed to the problem, where I spoke out of turn or did not speak up for what was right. I understand that I fell short in these moments and in many others and benefited from a system that condones misogyny and racism. I specifically want to apologize to Britney Spears and Janet Jackson, both individually, because I care for and respect these women and I know I failed. I also feel compelled to respond, in part because everyone involved deserves better, and most importantly, because this is a larger conversation that I wholeheartedly want to be part of and grow from. The industry is flawed. It sets men, especially white men, up for success. It's designed this way. As a man in a privileged position, I have to be vocal about this. Because of my ignorance, I didn't recognize it for all that it was while it was happening in my own life. But I do not want to ever benefit from others being pulled down again. I have not been perfect in navigating all of these throughout my career. I know this apology is a first step and doesn't absolve the past. I want to take accountability for my own missteps in all of this, as well as be part of a world that uplifts and supports. I care deeply about the well-being of the people I love and have loved. I can do better and I will do better.
Okay.
End quote.
So you're saying his apology is not accepted?
For me, Marissa Salas, you know what? I'm gonna go with the Hispanic delegation does not accept the apology of Justin Timberlake.
But you're speaking for all Spanish people everywhere?
No, because watch, they're gonna come for me. But you know what? I'm representing the delegation today and I'm gonna take it. Nope, we don't accept your apology. Nope. You done kissed and told.
You know how broad the Spanish delegation is, right?
Huh?
You know how broad the Spanish delegation is, right? It's just not Puerto Rico.
Whoever wants to be part of it, you're part of it, and I'm talking for you. In conclusion, Justin Timberlake is trash. I do not accept his apology. Number 1, he kissed and told with his girlfriend. Number 2, you gonna stomp on the icon Janet Jackson? You're trash. And then you have the nerve to do another Super Bowl without her? You, my son of a something. are trash. And then speaking as a wife, you got the nerve while I'm out here doing it, you got the nerve to be out somewhere drinking, canoodling up with some chick? Out of your mind. Out your mind.
The show is Free Britney or not. You took it, the statement about his
The
relationship.
Justin Timberlake, but it's listen. He came out with an apology. I don't accept it, and we're gonna go back to Britney now. So in conclusion, Justin Timberlake is trash. That needs to be closed and put to the side. Okay, now we're talking about her and Kevin Federline, her former husband, father of 2 of her children.
Can I have an opinion on all this before you start moving along? Skip to my Lou. So I don't accept or denounce his apology. It's like the only thing I can say about it is like, why you feel the smoke now because we're in a social media era. People probably tagging you left and right on social media. Whether he might feel remorse truly, and whatever it takes for you to get that to that point, that's fine. But unless Britney and Janet come out publicly and say, I accept your apology, then I'm like neither here nor there. You know what I'm saying? In terms of Britney and her relationships and what have you, I don't want to focus too much on, you know, that much. I want to really talk about like the mental illness of it. Like the whole thing is like how did you see her? Like do you think that the media and her relationship with her family and personal relationships and fans and stuff like that drove her to even if you look at her social media today, it seems a little off, in my opinion. I mean, I'm not a psychiatrist or nothing, but she seems off. And so, but is she off because she was driven to be that way, or was she always that way? And that's why there's a conservator in place.
So here's the thing. So you and I worked in music when she first came out. So there was a lot of like we got able to see like a lot of like these like magazines and things like that. And she always seemed very very like standoffish. Like whenever there was like meet and greets, she was always like with her arms down. Where like another artist would be like hugging their fans and like all over them. She's always seemed to be a very guarded person. But here's the thing though. I'm not equating her to puppies. I'm using this as an analogy. A puppy that is not socialized doesn't know how to be around other humans and other puppies. I'm not saying she wasn't socialized, but she was in such a petri dish of trash, or maybe not trash. I don't know. I wasn't there to do the work the whole time. But when she is part of that pop culture money churning thing, it's you go to choreography, you work out, you eat, you do your show, you sleep, choreography. You know what I mean? She seemed to be on this like, she was just a money making engine. And was she able to develop her mental capacities from a teen to an adult? Was she able to process, you know, she was a young mom. Was she able to process all those hormones that happen on top of going through a custody battle while paparazzi's following you during very emotional moments? You know, you want to be with your kids and you're right there and just some dude is telling you no and shutting a door in your face. Could you imagine?
Well, I honestly, like, I'm gonna be real with you. Like, I have no sympathy for her. Like, I mean, I watched a documentary. It's like, wow, it's good or whatever. But there are people that have like this, like even you said, like I could use a part two, and I'm like, okay, well, there's a lot of people that went through same shit that she went through as a child star. I mean, what you call was around the same time, Christina Aguilera. You know,
Yeah.
it's just how you handle.
But her foundation was different. Doesn't she say her relationship with her mom is very solid? And so, like,
no, yeah, that's true. But the things that you were bringing up were not unique to Britney. You know what I mean?
No.
None of that stuff is unique to her. That shit happened to Madonna. That shit happened to Marilyn Monroe. I mean, this shit is not unique to Britney.
But look what it drove to. But look at Madonna. She's like 65 getting butt implants. She's not okay.
Okay, so maybe she might be the wrong example. But what I'm saying is that there are a lot of people that have gone through a lot of things, and I don't think it's wrong. I mean, I'm not going to really judge Madonna on the butt implants. It is what it is. A lot of people are getting butt implants. I mean, they have a baby, and if they have the money, they want to get a tummy tuck. I mean, Wendy's still getting stuff done. You know what I mean? Wendy
Yeah.
Williams. So it's like I'm not going to look at it in that way. Only thing that I can say when I looked at the documentary, it for me, like the one thing that they kept saying was that how can she knows how to run her whole tour, and she was on, what was the show that she was on, one of those game like singing competition shows. She was like a
Oh,
guest.
Star
Not,
Search.
no, when she was older, like a few years ago, like with Simon Cowell, one of those. I can't
What
remember.
is like the X Factor
Yeah,
or
yeah,
The
That's
Voice or something?
I think it was X Factor. They're like, she can do that, and she can do her tour and perform. That has nothing to do with being able to handle your fucking money. That has no one thing has nothing to do with the other. Like
Yeah, but hold on a second
I can
though.
sit here and have a podcast. That don't mean I know how to control my finances and that I have the wherewithal. We don't know her mental capacity. And there's documents that have not been released by the courts. There's a reason
Right,
for that.
right.
You know what I'm saying? So I just because a person can do one thing doesn't mean they can do another thing.
Yeah.
That they have the capacity to do it. She can be the greatest entertainer in the world. That doesn't mean that she doesn't make foolish mistakes with money and she's irresponsible. There's a reason why before she had the conservatorship that Kevin Federline became sole custody of the kids. That's before the conservatorship.
Yeah, but we also don't know why.
But
It
that's
could
my point. That's my point. We don't
no,
know. Go
but
ahead.
I feel like you're getting into a topic that we so when you're a performer, I think it's such a what's the word, autodidactic
I don't know, but
autodidact whatever it is, where like no, that's self-taught, that's not the right word. It's just it's easier for her to be a performer probably than it is to just be a regular human being.
right.
but but what we were saying before, there has to be a social emotional toll when you're consistently followed by cameras, when you're told no and yes at the same time, and you don't really have too many barriers, and once barriers happen, there's like a psychological component that doesn't really
Right. And if everybody,
function.
I don't think everybody is capable of dealing with that psychological component. And that's probably why she's under the care of conservatorship because she's not
but
psychologically.
But here's the thing though, under that conservatorship, as they were discussing, it's very, I didn't realize how so many things that it entailed. She's not allowed to hire her own representation.
That's see the details of it. Now that's a different thing. When you start getting into the details of what that conservatorship means. Like I have no problem, and this is me and you speaking from we ain't even got really 6 degrees of separation at this point. Like we don't know her. I don't know her. You know what I'm saying? But the details of the conservatorship. Yes, does her father seem like a money hungry piece of shit? Yes.
Yeah.
But is it unfair that she's paying for his lawyers and her lawyers?
There's got to
No,
be.
I don't think any of that is fair. I think the details of the conservatorship are kind of like suspect, more than suspect. That doesn't negate the fact that I believe that based on the things that she's done and said in interview, how she's acted in interviews, even when it's uncomfortable, that doesn't negate the fact that she might need like quote unquote big brother.
Yeah, but wouldn't that be what is the like a financial team? What about just having a financial team? I mean, again, we don't know the mental capacities that she has,
Yeah,
but
we don't
having a
know.
full financial team probably would be. Sheeta can't even make her own medical decisions. That comes from her father.
but
That's
but based on, and that's what I'm saying. But which the are we upset about who is in charge or the fact that she has one? Free
I
Britney from her father's clutches, or free Britney completely and let her make her own decisions with her $300 million. Just let her sink or swim. You know what I'm saying? It's like
That's the American
we're,
government way.
we're coming from a place of like limited knowledge based off of a
Hmm.
documentary that from the onset, from the first opening lines, I knew this was an indictment on her father.
Right,
There
right,
was
right.
no like this was okay. This is about he
Yeah.
sucks. It was not a quote unquote bipartisan
No, no, no,
documentary.
it
This was
wasn't.
definitely like I mean even from the name of it, Free Britney.
But it needs to be fair. Like
It
I
was
think
not
we can
fair.
agree
I
on
don't
that.
think it was fair at all. I think it was one sided.
No,
Every
I mean her conservatorship.
oh
The
yeah
fact
yeah
that
yeah
there's no way
yeah
out, she can't make her own medical decisions. She
right
can't hire her own financial and legal representation team. That's what I mean. Like, like a conservatorship, everyone I think needs guidance.
right.
Um,
So
clearly.
I want to go back a little bit because
Hmm.
we touched on what brought her to this moment. And so,
Okay.
we talked about paparazzi and the media and stuff like that. So I grabbed a clip of Diane Sawyer interview, just a piece of the clip. So I want to play that. Let's see. You able to see my screen?
Yep.
Okay.
Britney Spears has upset a lot of mothers in this country, starting with the wife of the governor of Maryland. Really, if I had an opportunity to shoot Britney Spears, I think I would.
Oh, that's horrible.
Well, she,
That's really bad.
because of the example for kids and how hard it is to be a parent.
Well, that's really sad that she said that. Ew. I'm not here to, you know, babysit her kids.
There's just that invisible line that seemed to exist then that nobody knew how to handle, and nobody knew how to help her handle it.
Had a year that would test a lot of people.
It was pretty rough. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Hello. Ew. Strong Britney. Yeah, it was a weird. Ew. And then the first, can we?
So people came for Diane Sawyer's neck. I love revisionist history. Now you're gonna come for
I know.
Diane Sawyer
I
20
know.
years later. You had no problem back then.
But
Everybody, Diane Sawyer was because Whitney Houston is also coming to the mainframe, especially because yesterday was her
yeah.
birthday. Rest in peace, Whitney. But the Diane Sawyer interview she did with Whitney, where Whitney was like crack is whack, and so people blaming Diane Sawyer.
Show me the receipts.
I was just
That's
like,
where show me the receipts came from.
right. But I'm just like, why are you blaming Diane Sawyer? Why
I'm
is
not
it
blaming.
on her?
No,
Not you.
Diane Sawyer's not the one who said it. But damn.
But she's doing her job. She's doing interviews.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it's just the way that people came for Diane Sawyer this week after the documentary dropped. Like, I felt like free Diane.
I didn't see any of it. Oh my goodness,
Just
I gotta look.
ridiculous, ridiculous. But I played that because it goes to the extent to which people were coming for Britney. You know, the woman,
Right.
the wife of the governor. Like, if she would have say that today,
He
in
would
the
not.
world that we live in today,
He wouldn't be. He wouldn't have his job.
he would have had. And he ain't said it.
They
He
would
would have.
all.
Oh,
They will all have to move. Y'all moving.
it'd have been like sheep. We're getting rid of her. It would just been a. It would have been a whole thing. You know what I mean? So you can't be mad at things from then
Yeah.
because it's a different time. I mean, it sucks.
Yeah.
I don't now if Diane Sawyer was still coming for people's necks in that way, then I'd be like, Diane, calm down. Like
Yeah.
Wendy Williams was still coming for people's necks. But nobody has a problem with her. They just like, ain't nobody talking about cancel Wendy. Not really.
No.
They don't. They just like she ain't right. I
I
don't know.
love how
Talking
everybody's
about
always like she has the worst ratings. Really? Because
I
people
don't.
still watching.
Yeah.
We get clips. We get her clips
All
like
day,
every week.
everywhere. People still look at her
Some wild something that she said.
yeah. Anyway, but I don't know. I just think during that time for Britney, like you had mentioned, it was a lot of people coming for her, and the stress
Yeah.
of it could have been a lot. But
Yeah.
that was her own individual experience because there were a lot of people that were dealing
Yeah.
with a lot of stress. That during that era, the pop craze, it was like just a lot of girls. And that, I mean, she was the biggest of them all, but there were so many. There were like the pop groups, the NSYNCs of the world. Backstreet
Yeah.
Boys were like old men by then. Not by at 25, they were like old men. Um, but it's like something that she couldn't handle emotionally. And I
Yeah.
think she, by exhibiting that, it ultimately led to her having a conservator in the name of
Yeah.
her father, who now she doesn't want to be, and that's fine. Especially if she thinks he's spending all her money and has complete control of her. Um, you had mentioned her mother earlier, and I thought about my mom because when you said that, because I thought remember I had a conversation with my mom about our past, and she said she could only do what she could. Like there's a point in your life, but this is all I got. Like I'm incapable of being what everybody thinks I should be. And maybe that's how Britney's mother was. Like she came to the point where this is it. Because if you think about it, it's like she hired the one woman to be like the family friend to be the assistant and the tour. Like it was just a whole.
Yeah.
I don't even see you doing that. I see you being like, all my kids are coming. It's just we're all gonna be on the road with Britney.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
no like what's the father doing? You know what I mean? Like why are you hiring somebody outside of the family?
I would never.
if it's that point, then you gotta hire a family member.
But if it's to that point, reevaluate what you're doing,
Right.
because that's your baby, that's a child. They need a certain amount of normalcy. You listen, there's child stars like homegirl, oh come on, she was an I Am Sam.
Oh, Dakota Fanning.
Yes.
That's the
She's
movie she
doing
came up
great.
with. All the movies she made, that's the one that came up. It was
That's such a great movie
a
though.
good movie. But I didn't think of that movie. Yeah, that was a good movie.
Because it makes me think of like, listen, our babies are out there making money and doing art constantly. But what are we doing? What are the things that we're putting in place? Her team, whoever was part of her team, made sure that not only that she had a checks and balances, she don't sh we don't hear no stories about her. She wasn't left alone. She wasn't, like, you're going
It's
to this
different from
party.
it's different from being an actress and being a musician. It just the level it's just different. You can see it. You can see the people. No, the level of like scrutiny. I just feel like, and she didn't do pop star. She was like in dramatic roles. She wasn't like Lindsay
But I
Lohan
say all that
doing
to say she was still in the public eye and still had the opportunity to really be part of that cesspool of entertainment.
right.
And look at where she is now. And yeah, there's different forms of art, but she's still an artist, so to speak. Um, we or even look at I don't know who came out with her at the same. Mandy Moore, Pink,
So, well, the thing about
Christina
it too,
Aguilera.
the thing about it too is like what you had mentioned earlier was like the parents, because like I had just mentioned Lindsay Lohan. When you have parents who want to be opportunistic, it's gonna kind of
It's gonna change.
it's gonna
Yep.
lead the kid down the wrong path. But at the end of the day, like, I don't think her mom was opportunistic. Her father may have been. I don't know. We don't really
We
get
don't know.
inside. The story is, like I said, is an accusatory attack mode on everybody surrounding Britney. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
even the clip they showed of her brother, they made it seem like he was a misogynistic. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
that's the clip you decided they had an agenda with this
Yeah.
documentary. But with that, all that saying is very entertaining, and anybody that's watching this podcast, listening to it, whatever, I suggest you go listen to it and make them some more money because God knows Hulu and FX and Disney Plus and wherever you can
They
find it needs more money,
they need more money.
needs more money. So,
Ugh.
but it definitely it was good.
Yeah.
It was
It
good.
was good.
I
Interesting.
I
In
had
conclusion,
it was good.
no, well, in conclusion,
Oh, I thought she was.
just no, it's one of those things like you never know where your life is going. You never know where the people around you are. If you don't have the capacity to be part of a strong foundation, don't be part of it.
Right.
Don't, I'm your friend. No, you're not. I'm your sister. I'm your brother. Just delete yourself. That's it. Take yourself out of it. Do us all a favor.
Do us all a favor and just remove yourself. So I wanna do you want to talk anything else about this?
No.
I'm just having a little issue with my computer. Give me a break. I've only been doing this forever.
With season 4, right?
Yeah. Season 4. Can you believe it, Holmes?
Yep.
Crazy, right? You can believe it, huh?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Yeah, I can. I'm shocked. But anyway, I do want to transition to something. It's time for Is it really? Yes, it
What
is.
your thought is?
So, you have to be living under a rock to miss any of what's been happening in our country. The trial of 45, in my opinion, has been riveting and eye opening. But similar to today's topic, I must ask, free Trump or not? Those of us who have been watching the impeachment have witnessed graphic video of insurrectionists using violent, racist, and harmful rhetoric fused with violent, racist, and harmful actions. Actions that, in many instances, have led to jail stints, public shaming, and worse, death. Incited by 45, these people who have ideals and beliefs similar to people in our own personal lives have found a way to commandeer the month of January and February. Will March fall victim too? What are we to make of this? Do those of us that find fault with what these people did at the urging of 45, continue to dictate our TV time, social media swipes, and podcast listens to the story? Do we just wring our hands free of the whole thing and just wish we could move on? Let 45 go on with his life? As we move deeper into 2021, with COVID still the backdrop of American way, where do we go from here? And that, y'all, is the first episode of season 4. Holla.
Thank you.
Before we go, Marissa, you wanna do any quick reflections on what the past? Well, we started in 2018, so is it 4 years? Oh well, it's the beginning of the 4th season.
Yeah.
So what you have any reflections or any highlights from the past 3 seasons?
The only reflection that I have is that my anxiety has gone down quite a bit as far as like sharing my opinion.
Yeah.
And you and me, it's something different. But you know me, I can talk for 45 minutes and not say anything.
How do you feel when I make these clips of you like talking?
Oh,
when I share them.
Oh my god.
You feel some kind of way, like you never tell me anything, so I don't know if I'm overstepping. My thing is, if you said it on the podcast, it's free game.
It's free game, exactly. So it's been like a therapeutic sort of letting go, I guess, because
Right.
I don't like sharing my opinion ever.
Right.
But here I am,
sharing away,
sharing my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I
say a lot of sideways things that only you have been privy to, and I've bitten my tongue,
Mhm.
a lot, or I try to. So y'all can only imagine. I just can't. It gives me a lot of anxiety.
Does it?
Yeah.
Should this be the last show? It's too much for you?
We have this discussion every year. Shut up. We're gonna be back here next week.
Oh my god. You sure? Because that's what we said last time.
and we're still fucking here into the 4th season. So shut up.
I'm saying we wasn't back the next week. I was like, look, I need a break. I'm sick of this shit. The show is very stressful, y'all. But I don't know. I think for me, the highlights probably like in the very beginning, because we were like growing pains. And
Mhm.
then we'd like talk for like the shows would be like 65, 70 minutes. It's like, really?
Oh yeah.
This is just too much. You know what I mean? Um, but I do like when we get feedback. I do like, when people,
Yeah.
I even like the hate because it makes me laugh. It's like you really got a lot of energy. Like there's things that I hate on social media from like famous people. Not that we're
Mhm.
famous, but I never like, for the most part, I might have been like, your song is good, or I might put one like I don't really interact with famous people like that. It probably like on one hand like 5 times where I've tweeted a celebrity,
Mhm.
but it's never been other than, I take that back. One time I tweeted because I wrote a blog post and I tweeted Oprah and Tyler Perry and said the have and the have not suck.
And she said, "Thank you for your feedback."
Exactly. So
I remember that.
so there you go. I guess I have.
And wait, did you have feedback with Ava DuVernay
Um, I think I didn't
on
I didn't
Twitter?
yeah, but I didn't what I did was like I wrote something. I don't remember what I wrote, but she responded. I didn't
Yeah.
tweet her. You know how you're like, I love that
Yeah.
show, so, like something like
Yeah.
that. You know what I mean? And she
Yeah.
responded. Um, but when I first joined Twitter, we had gone to Ireland, and I tweeted
Yes.
Diddy, and he retweeted my tweet. And that was in the beginning. Like it was like you tweet everybody. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it was the people on it, but it was nobody had like a million followers.
Mhm.
Like the most famous people had like 100,000. Now
Yeah.
100,000 for a famous person is like, oh, you ain't that famous. You must be a supporting actor. Meanwhile, I'm trying to break 200.
I got
Actually, wait,
23.
I
I
think
got
it's time.
21. Like
Let's see how many the Yep Yeah Yes has. We probably
60
don't even.
something.
We probably haven't even broken 100.
No.
Let's see. 73 followers.
I got like 21.
73.
We'll
And
get
then,
there.
and then Tamika has 279. I thought I didn't break 300, 200. So I got 279.
Marissa has 21.
Yeah, but you don't be posting nothing.
I don't.
You'll
Cause it
be
gives
you'll
me
be like
anxiety.
you'll be like red or black licorice.
Neither.
As if it's Twitter 2009. Like we don't ask those questions.
We don't do that anymore.
We don't
The
do.
one time I did have interaction was when I tweeted, I think Ivy Queen and Cardi B need to make a song together, and Ivy Queen liked it.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
You didn't tell me that.
I did, and you're like, that's nice.
I don't remember that. My
Yeah,
hearing
it's
aid
long.
might have died. I don't remember that.
Yeah.
Wasn't me. I don't recall. Anyway, it's good catching up with you. And before you have anything for how you want the show to go, anything you want people to reach out about, or anything you got to say to your loyal listeners, Froman and Morning Dew.
Hey. In
So,
conclusion, do you agree that Homeboy is trash? Only yeses
oh,
are
Justin or
accepted.
Justin.
Only yeses are accepted.
Okay. All right,
Your
y'all.
skin looks so good. Your
It's
hair looks
it's
so
the
healthy.
it's the sugar in my
Uh-oh.
New York Giants. I need to go, like, for real. I need to go on like a cleanse, like a
Uh-oh.
diet type, not a diet, but like I'm not eating healthy. I'm eating a lot of fast food and drinking sugary drinks,
Ooh,
but it's cheaper. Mhm.
that's America.
Exactly. Hey,
Water and some fruit cost $10.
what happened?
Water and some fruit cost $10.
I
But
buy a banana.
20 nuggets and a large Coke are $3.
Like the other day, I got a coupon on my phone for a 35-cent McDonald's large fry. Like, how do you? I passed it up, but it's like, how do, like, the people that got it? Like, how do you pass that up?
Yeah,
With a minimum $1 purchase.
that's your
So
drink.
basically, you buy a large sweet iced tea and you get 35-cent fries. That's your lunch.
That-
I opted for Taco Bell.
Oh, those taco frescoes are so good.
Anyway, where can they catch us?
Yep, yeah, yes, 18 on Instagram and Twitter. The Yep, yeah, yes podcast on Facebook. Don't forget to tweet us, y'all. We need some more followers. And on any streaming device that plays podcasts, the Yep, yeah, yes podcast. Don't forget that H.
The H.
Yeah.
Oh, is the H in our name?
Bitch.
Is there? Oh yeah, there is. The shirt doesn't have an H. Yeah, you've been promising.
You still have me doubting myself.
You're supposed to put an H on our shirts.
Yep.
And you're supposed to make us masks.
Yeah.
But as long as we live, there's always a waiting time, right?
Exactly.
One other thing, we are now taking donations because having a podcast costs a couple of coins. So you can cash app us at Yep Yeah Yes with an H.
Yeah.
Split the money with Marissa.
Please. Bye, y'all.
Bye, y'all.